Alright, somebody had requested Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, so I'm going to do that one next. So I'll play the first part and then we'll break it down. We'll go in sections like that. So here's the intro. Okay, so that's our intro. So we're going to start on the G string open. Then we're going to take the middle finger, go from 2 to 4, and then 3 on the B string to open on the little E string. So open, and then 2 to 4, and then 3, and then open. Okay, and then we're going to go to this chord here, E minor 7. That's 2, open, 3, 3. So we're going to go. And your little strum on that is down, down, up, down. Okay, so let's try all that. Down, down, up, down. And they've got a little riff down here. 3 and open on the small string to the 3 on the second string. So. And that's going to be on your G chord with those 2 3s down there. So we put that together, that whole thing's going to repeat too. So take a look at this here. And the G. And then we're going to come in with that riff, so we don't actually finish that whole strum, maybe as long as that other chord was, because we've got the. And then 3, 0, 3 to the G. See how that one ends on an up, because we got to get back to that riff there, so. Back to this chord, and now we have a new riff, open on the bottom string, then 3 and open on the second string to the 2 on the third string. But if you catch that 2 where you're kind of barring the big string also, we can get to this other chord, this A7 suspended 4th chord. So that's going to be the other chord of the intro. So let's take a look at all that. 3, 0, 3 to the G. Open 3, open 2. Back to the beginning riff. Okay, open 3, open 2. So we got a little riff here in the end. 2, 4 to 2, open G. And then we'd be into that little solo in the beginning. So let's look at all what we got so far. We had open, 2 to 4, 3, and open. That's our main type of riff. And then once again, our chords, we have the E minor 7. Later we're going to have the G with those 2 3s on it. Let me go back to the E minor 7, little riffs in between. We got the G again. And then we got the E minor 7 again with a different riff this time. Remember the 0, 3, 0, 2 brings us to that new A7 sus chord. We got main riff again to the E minor 7 again. And then we got that 0, 3, open 2. And then the little 2 to 4 to 2. So it's a slide up, and then you pick the 2, and then you go to the open of the G string. So. So that one is like a down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. But when we go, we've already played the first beat of that. So it's kind of like 1, little different because we had that riff that took the first beat of that. So now let's go ahead into the solo. So we got, starts out with that same lead-in riff. Now we're going to have this new riff for the solo. So that was that 2 to 4 we did earlier to the 3 here. We're going to hold that. And you can kind of let these two ring if you want. And then we're going to go 5 on the B string, 4 on the G string, back to the 3 on the B string. So it's going to go. So that was 5, 4, 3. Now we're going to do a double pull off here on the 4 to 2 to open on the G string. So whenever you do a pull off, you want to have the lower one always in place before you even go to play the high one, so you know you got something there. So on this one, we're going to go ahead and pull each one off. If you pull kind of towards the ground as opposed to just off of a string, it kind of helps it get more snap and more volume out of it. So then we're going to go to the D string right after that. So let's look at that solo again. So now we got a little thing right here. We're going to go. So that's going to be 3 to 4, quick slide on the G string, and a 3 twice on the B string, 3rd fret. So. And then we got that lead-in riff. And now we have a new riff. We're going to go 3s. I like to use the ring finger. You could use a different finger probably, whatever. So that's 3s up to 5, and then we pick the 3s. So that 3s to 5 was a slide. Now the next thing to me is kind of similar to that, but on these different strings. 2 on the G string, 3 on the B string. And you're sliding the 2 and the 3 up to the 4 and 5. And then you go back. You go to the opens after that. And that's how the last part goes. So let's look at that again. Lead-in riff, high riff. So see, that one going back was a real quick slide. We go to the opens twice. Strum the G a little bit. So that one's 2 to 4, and then 3 to the 4 to that 5, and then we're going to bend it. So that was already bent before we picked it, and it kind of pulls off to the 3, and then the 4 over here back to that 3. So to the 2nd fret, the G string. So let's look at all what we got so far on that solo. High riff coming up. Strum the G. Initial riff. Okay, so that was. And then we bend. Now we're going to have another little bend right here on the 4th fret G string. So a little bend on the 4, and then go down to the 2nd string, 3, 5, bend again to the 2. Now here we won't have time for the, we just have time for, so we won't have the G string before that kind of most common riff. Now the last part is, so let's go all the way through, and let me double check that one little kind of last riff. So if we start out with the lead-in riff before the solo, it'd be. hold that extra long, and then we just have a little bend here to the G. Now verse, C, D, A minor, G with those 2 3s. Now D, C, A minor, G. Now go to another verse. Now let's look at the strum pattern on that. So basically, down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, then A minor, G, D this time, C, A minor. It's up to you whether you want to do that last up on those last. You could go like down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, and not worry about hitting the last one to help you get to a new chord. You can always leave off a strum at the end of a phrase if it helps you get to a chord more on time. So if you feel comfortable with it, like I was adding that last one in because I can get to them pretty quick, you know, without a problem. So down, up, if you wanted to add that in. But just those 3 right there, that gets the job done too, you know. So let's do a little play along with the verse chords there. So once again, it was C, and then D, and then A minor to G. And then the D and the C switch. So it's D first, and then C, and still A minor to G in that same order. So let's try that. C to D, and A minor to G to start with. 2, 3, 4, and A minor, G, D, C, A minor, G. Okay, so basically that's all your parts. There's some solos and stuff. I'm not going to go into that right now. A lot of bending and things. One interesting thing you might look at is when he's going from kind of like the G and the E minor type thing. He does some bends up here. Like here's the 8th fret. That's a G note. So when you bend this 10 and you get that pinky underneath it, makes a nice cool sound in that kind of major pentatonic type scale. Now when it shifts to that A chord down here, he goes, so he takes it from the G up to the A and he plays the similar like A major pentatonic type of a kind of country riff. So you might experiment a little bit with that. But basically that's all your parts. So thanks for watching, and like I said, that was by request, so I hope that was you got what you wanted out of that. Appreciate the request. And I'm Damon Wood. Please like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think, and we shall see you soon.